What's up, everybody? Arch here. So, believe it or not, this is probably the 10th fucking time I've tried to make a video in the last 3 weeks. I just been, Cece and I both have had a shitty cold, and the kids too. And it just is lingering and lingering. Anyway, it's actually, I feel not that bad. It's just that it's causing me to be perpetually behind in just everything. So, I'm just like super rushed, and so I'm just going to do my best to try to just throw some time at it this morning. Try to stick to interesting topics. So number one is the Fafo drop. I'm gonna go ahead and sorry, it's gonna be a pre-order. So I'm making good headway on it. This is 75 of them here. I have another 79 of them here. These are ones that I need to refinish that didn't pass QC just for. I do take them out. You know, if I'm like there's a pretty good random scratch on there that I'm just like I don't like that. That's not to say that there will not be no like random scratches from stonewash. There's just sometimes where I'm just like that one catches my eye. So just so you guys know, if you do get one, you're like I don't like that scratch. It's like I looked at it and it passed. So yeah. Anywho, I mean, there's times where I like my own that I post pictures of on Instagram. I'm like, I don't love that scratch, but it's just like it's the way it is, you know. I can get too nitpicky, um, but and then I have another 55 or something like that that are totally finished, packaged, or they might not be packaged. They're upstairs. So April Fool's Day, April 1st. I'm gonna say 8 a.m. is when the pre-order will go live. 8 a.m. Eastern time. It's always Eastern time. There's always some jackass who's like, oh, are you dropping it in France time this time? I was like, fucking. Not idiot. Pardon my French. If you met my dad, you'd know. I'm the soft version. Which is pains me to say. So yeah, April 1st, 8 a.m. Eastern time is when the pre-order will open up. I'm doing my best to try to get as many of these ready as possible. I have 200 and it's like 210, 212, 208, something like that of them ready, like machined, finished. So these have all been, they all have been at least machined, their first tumble cycle, their hand deburring, and all of these things, I'm QCing every step of that. So they've passed, a quick look QC right after op one, right after op two, right after their initial stonewash, definitely during their hand deburring process, and then again after I look at them really carefully again after blast. I look at them again after their last zone wash, and then really carefully under a magnifier before packaging, during assembly and packaging. So lots and lots of steps of me, and each one of those is so I don't waste time like putting it through all of those processes. Before, like at the very last, I'm looking at it under a magnifying glass, and I'm like, shit, damn it, this one's not going to make it. And so I just used all that time, and wasted it on that part. So that's one of the reasons why it's tough for me to get blems out anymore, because I'm just like, shit. If anyway, so that's the deal. I'd say at this point that's a little less than a week away. Um, the chances that I'll have all 210 of those ready is pretty slim. So it's not like I'll be able to just like immediately ship all 210 of them. I'm going to ask that you guys give me a pre-order window. I should also say real quick, I don't want to waste the whole video on this. I should also say real quick that when I price the Fafo at $250, the machine, it doesn't add up with the machine time. It is going to be probably the least lucrative, and it's actually like by a pretty serious margin. It's I'm losing a lot, 15% or something like that, which seems crazy, but these bitches are just intricate, you know. There's a lot to these things, and doing all these flutes all along the side. I'm calling them flutes because that's what Rolex calls their bezel, fluted bezel, and that was the inspiration for these. So I think you can use all kinds of different terms for that, but you can see it's not quite what you might call thumb serrations, or you know, grip serrations, or jimping or whatever. So I'm calling them flutes. They're inspired by the fluted bezel of a Rolex. Um, anyway, it all takes a long time. Actually, you know what? We should go look at this next to the original. And I don't even remember what the originals were priced at. I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not super interested in selling a whole lot of the FAFO side piece because I do, I can make things that are more affordable for my customers, offer just about as many features, just without all the bling, and also actually meet my bottom line for what I need to pay the bills and set myself up for success as far as downtime, growth, moving the shop again, all those little things, paying Uncle Sam fucking 25% of my income. Anyway, I just want to give you guys a look here at the two next to each other. You can see like really not that comparable in features. The new FAFO has substantially more going on than the OG. So yeah, basically moving back to the cost and the pre-order ness of it and all that stuff. I'm like, I'm torn between expectations wise of being like 250 is a lot. People might not spend that money on these, and also going, well, if you look at the history of the FAFO in the couple of different forms that we've seen it so far, and go look at eBay or whatever it is, and go look at the design, how many people actually want them. The times I have brought them to shows, and it's what they want. It'd be a no-brainer to take this opportunity for a pre-order to get one, even if you're like pinching pennies. Again, I don't want to convince anybody. I also don't really want. I think it would suck if like everyone was like, oh fuck, and went crazy about it and decided now all of a sudden my pre-order quantity is 400 or something like that. At that point, I'd be in trouble because I would be over the amount of stock. This is this little pile right here, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 29 bars of, 129 bars of titanium. This is what I have in my stockpile. So, not a lot. And most of that is going to be the triple aught design drop, which is going to be 150 pieces. My ETA for sending those to them is about a month out. And I don't know how they're going to handle those. I know they're super fired up about them, and they want to make some of them like corporate gifts and whatnot, which is pretty sweet because they give those to high fucking rollers, Jack Carr and people like that, which is pretty fucking awesome. But, on that note, guys, it's pretty crazy. I have to be careful because you would be surprised at some of the people, I should just say, some of the high profile individuals who actually are on the nice side that just, they don't promote shit. So they can't show it or promote stuff or whatever, but it's pretty neat. And I've gotten in trouble for mentioning one of them. Maybe you guys will remember that, but who that was. But I'll say also one of the most high profile watch collector celebrities. Fuck. Anyway, order a side piece. Don't order a side piece. I absolutely don't care. You just need to know. please give me the entire 6-week window. It's so crazy how many people, you know, 10 days out are like, I see people, other people got theirs and where's mine? And, just like, holy shit, man. I send them out as I can. Um, I can appreciate that there's correspondence. But I have to really try to nip it in the bud as much as possible because people are fired up about this stuff, man. And so it's, I have, I used to say 15,000. It's probably more like 20,000 customers. It's pretty crazy. And this is another thing that's interesting on that note. I don't bother with looking at analytics all that much. I try to pay other people to do that, or yeah. Anyway, one of the analytics that is kind of, it's not offset that much, but one of the things that I'm seeing happen with analytics reports is it used to be 80% of the customers on Nice Guy Machine's website, 80% got on the website, have made one purchase. 80%, one purchase. They literally got on, bought a couple of beads. That's it. And then they were gone after that. They never came back. Or one pry bar, or made one purchase. They bought 2 pry bars, or whatever it was. 80% was one purchase. That number is actually growing pretty substantially. It's nearing 30% now, which 10% is a lot. So, but still, you would think that because those people who are watching this video, we're all on social media. We see the same 100 fucking stellar dudes posting awesome content, great pictures, and I appreciate you guys so much. You are the bread and butter and the core of Nice Guy Machine Company. But those 100 people, they make up, 5% of the Nice Guy sales, which is pretty crazy. You always hear, I've been into Chris Reeve knives for a long, long time. And even back in the day, whenever, say like 2002, 2001, when Blade Forums was when it was the only thing that you could like go online and learn about this kind of stuff with. I remember Chris Reeve himself would post, not regularly, but he was on it. And he would always say, like, I appreciate you guys' perspective, but you guys do not represent the customer base. Like, thank you guys all so much, but you don't represent the customer base. You're just the people who are online. I always was like, that must be true, but yeah, it's wild how actually true it is when you start to dig in the analytics. That said, that doesn't the people who are posting, first off, Patreon is the fucking organic, free range, boneless flour that is the backbone of Nice Guy Machine Company customer base. No doubt about it. You're the main structure of this business, and I appreciate you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Then it would be the email list. Then it would be Facebook group. Then it would be Instagram. Instagram is last. I consider Instagram insignificant. I consider it basically nothing. I like to make the pictures and the videos, and I like to put music on it. I like to talk about music. I consider it, it's for work, and I do spend time doing it, and I take it relatively seriously. I like to be myself. But I look at Instagram as only for fun. I actually don't love Instagram is a fucking crazy place, dude. It's basically a shit smear, all things considered. I mean, it's one of the things I don't love about Instagram is the influencers who will sell fucking anything. Man, it's fucking crazy. Fuck, man. And then also the dudes who are like Jack Wolf knives, I personally consider the absolute ultimate top shelf model of absolute perpetrator fucking bullshit in the EDC community. Uh, I can't. I mean, everything that they are. Use your brain. Look around. Fucking. That's all I can say about that. I could go on and on and on about those guys. I'm sure they're great people, but that doesn't matter because what they're fucking absolute jerk offs when it comes to haven't put a fucking one drip of fucking effort, blood, sweat, and tears compared to compared to McNeese knives, Chris Reeve knives, Koenig, any of these companies they started with a fucking little tool room and they fucking worked their way up to where they are. I will say Koenig they really have to pull their shit together. Like I know a lot of you guys like Koenig, but there's a reason you've not seen me ever post ones because I'm just like, Anyway, I am fucking all over the place, boys. Let's see, what else? Oh, look here. Ta-da. See, these are all the ones that have been hand rubbed. And so what I do is these all have, man, I tried jojoba oil. I went back to olive oil because olive oil seems to have the fucking magic in it. Jojoba oil does not have the magic in it. So these have all been oiled and rubbed. And then this here sits on there overnight and it wicks away most of the oil. Oh, I need to look. I need to order more rags. It wicks away most of the oil. Oh no, here there. And my daughter's milk from last night. And then I can go in and just use a cloth to get the rest of the oil off of there. That makes a huge difference. That hand rubbing process, for me at least, it's something that my goal with the Nice Guy Machine Company, as far as the things that I make, is when I get a knife in, it's pretty rare that I don't end up having to do some kind of like deburring, oiling, something. It's pretty rare that I don't end up doing something to tweak that product that I got. And that's kind of like one of the things that I'm really trying to do, or I do with the things that I make, is like, I don't want someone to get it in their hand and be like, oh, I want to do this, I need to change that, I'm gonna, whatever. I guess there's people who do some refinishing and stuff based on what they like, and that's fine. But all I can do is tailor it to how I feel and what I would do, and so that's the goal with that. But that's so funny. Jane left her milk up here. I left Jane's milk up here. Oh, I did get hats. They fucked them up. They fucked up my hats. It doesn't look anything like the proof. I'm gonna try to get them to take these back, or I got 50. I don't know why I ordered 50. They sent me 54, but this is 1 3/4 inches. It was supposed to be 2 1/4, so it's supposed to be a 1/2 inch bigger than this. And I told them to put it as close to the bill as possible, so they fucked it up in every way. It's been like 3-4 days that I've had these hats, and I filled out their form that said I was not happy with the product, and pardon me, I haven't heard back, so I'm gonna have to contact them again today. I don't hate the hat. I actually really like this. This is the exact same model of my old hat. I like it because it's like a true, 1980s trucker hat with a little bit. It's not like the totally foamy foam. It's actually like a more rigid stuff. But I like the high crown. I like the profile. I really like these hats a lot. They're yeah. It is what it is. They do the job. I'm so particular with hats for myself that. And I know that this one, most people would be like, that's just a goofy ass fucking cheap trucker hat. It's like, yeah, but it's exactly like the kind of cut that I wanted and like, and the way that it feels on my head. again, for the kind of the way that I look at it with the hats is, I know because people are like, I like the Richardson 112, and I don't like the way the Richardson 112 fits, and there's no one who is going to wear this hat more than me, so it's kind of funny. I brought hats. My goal is to bring these hats to Blade Show, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them. Most likely give them away in some capacity, but uh, uh, so whether it's these hats or whether it's some new ones, that's the plan. I've done that before with the light blue and black hat you've seen me wear a lot probably. I gave away 50 of those hats at Blade Show that year. I've never once seen somebody wearing one of those hats, so kind of a bummer. I gave most of them went to. I think what I did is if anybody who bought 2 pieces of titanium got a hat. Um, that's not like these are free. They still cost me $20, or something like that. Um, but fiddle fucking around with selling a $20 thing is just it's not my business model. So uh, I can't. I don't know how to fit it in and be appropriate use of my time. So currently, with the way that I have no employees or whatever, have a part-time employee just over yonder. My neighbor Kelsey, she comes and helps me out with packaging and stuff 1 day a week. But yeah, so I was just saying I've never seen anybody wear. I've never seen someone wearing one of the hats, and it might just be because people just don't like them. But I feel like if you give it a chance, if you give it a shot, it's kind of funny though. I see people wearing. I don't know. I'm the opposite. 9 out of 10 people I see wearing a hat, I'm like, fuck that guy's hat. It's stupid. So it's funny. I imagine there's people are like, fuck this hat because it's stupid. So I mean, why wouldn't you? If that's how I feel about those people's hats. Um, but like the Howler hats or whatever it is. Um, so I don't know what else I got here for you guys. Yeah. So when I come up here in the shop, oh, you know what? Here's another thing. If you guys, Tyler is gonna make. I asked him to make some more of the rucks, the Nice Guy Machine rucks, which is, again, the profit margin is so slim on those, but yet basically it's as simple as this. If it's 100 and whatever they are, $120. My business model is that I make things in my shop, and so and then I sell them. And so when the profit margin is so slim on something somebody else makes that I sell, but yet it takes 100% of my customers' money, it costs you the same. I make nearly nothing, and yeah, I guess it's a product that people might like. I've struggled with working it into my EDC. Just full disclosure, everything that I tell myself I might use one of those. I actually have a prototype one here somewhere that has no logos on it. Actually, I don't know where that went. It's fucking. You get the eco enclosed packaging that gets dust everywhere up here. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, I've struggled with working those into my EDC. I constantly am like, I move it over here. I'm like, oh, it might scratch my whatever's in that pocket. And then I move it over here. And I'm like, I might scratch. And then I'm like, I never use the fucking thing because I use my pry bar for everything. Speaking of pry bars, I have this slick middleman in my pocket. Put it in my pocket last night. And man, I immediately was like, man, I fucking like the middleman. I like the middleman. So I'll just close this out real quick. Oh, I was saying up here, let's just make sure that I'm showing you guys all things up here and you see things. Maybe if you're looking around, people pause the video and they fucking zoom in or whatever. You might see some things. But just because I have stuff does not mean you get to DM me, even if like we know each other. It doesn't mean you get to, like in person, and it's such a bitch, man. Whenever I get, and I'm blessed to have this problem, and I know that other makers do this. You DM them, oh hey, remember we hung out at Blade Show? I saw those fucking Barkeep Liberation tools. I want one. And now I got to be the asshole who's like, it's not for sale. Like those are for Blade Show, and So I have a little bit of limited space. I want to share it with you guys, and it's not to be taken advantage of, you know. So, and I'm not trying to be a fuckface about that. It's just that what I'm offering is what I'm doing. It's not. It doesn't. There's nothing outside of the realm of what I'm offering. And I know that you give somebody an inch and they want a couple more inches, but let's just be cool about this, guys. Anyway, put the middleman in my pocket. Was like, I love the middleman. So started fucking around with a adjust the tip version of the middleman with the barkeep. I flipped it around backwards from the barkeep liberation tool, but that actually is the exact same profile as the barkeep liberation tool's bottle opener. If you can see, it's just backwards. And I actually really like the way that this kind of worked its way into there. And another thing I tried really hard to, one of the reasons the middleman's bottle opener is the shape that it is, and that I ended up putting it on the Mr. Nice bar and a couple of other things, is to give it as much length up into the length of the pry bar. We'll just grab one. And still make it able to be a 1/4 inch wrench. So, right, so I can still get my finger way up here because of the way that this sticks way out. And that's actually pretty thick. It's like 80 thou thick or something like that, which is a lot of titanium, even though it looks relatively thin. It's very, very sturdy. And I actually retained, I think, even a little bit more of that length by changing the bottle opener to the flipped backwards version of the barkeep liberation tool. However, it's going to sacrifice the 1/4 inch wrench. It's not going to be a 1/4 inch wrench anymore. I've literally had 0 people tell me that they appreciate the bottle openers that are a 1/4 inch wrench, but I have had untold amount of people go like, the bottle opener is not great. And I'm just like, well, that's because it's a 1/4 inch wrench that serves as a bottle opener. Again, I feel like the pro, I consider myself a pro user of the venerable everyday carry pry bar. And I'm like, I prefer no bottle opener. The only thing that I see me myself as who I consider a pro user, constant user and appreciator of the everyday carry pry bar. Remember, I make these pry bars because I appreciate them serving me very much, and that's why I'm just like passionate about tweaking and making more and making different ones and trying to fit it into everybody's EDC in life by offering fucking 20 different pry bars, is because I'm just like, this is a great tool. Everybody needs to have one of these. And a bottle opener for me is 1% useful and 99% smoke screen for like TSA or whatever. They look at it and they go, that's a bottle opener. Where they look at this and they go, what kind of fucking shank is this thing? And that's it. So, and that's not to say that's not valuable. It is valuable. However, in an EDC situation where you're not traveling or whatever, the no bottle opener version of a pry bar is much more suitable for me. I like the way it feels in my hand. I like just everything about it better. So, anywho, that's it. We're about 30 minutes. That's about what I wanted to do. Sorry about, being fucking, I always tell guys, that Nice Guy Machine Company is the name of this business. Nice Guy Machine Company. If I wanted it to be reflective of who I am, I would call the business Frank. Because I'm like a fucking crazy person. I'm not necessarily nice. I consider myself fair. I try to be fair. Fair Guy Machine Company. I don't know. What the fuck does that even mean? Anyway, palabra a tu madre. Sorry about all the radio silence. Hopefully I feel like a 30-minute video is actually pretty cool. So rather than a 10-minute video once a month where I was like, bye, whatever. So anyhow, have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.